Hi, welcome back to Rusty Jeep, and thanks for coming back. And if you're a first-time visitor, don't forget to hit subscribe. Today we're going to be working on the tailgate, turning the Rusty Jeep tailgate from a swing out to a drop down on a budget, but still doing it the right way. A couple things: if you haven't done any fabrication before, don't get scared. Always remember, like on any project, the more prep you do, the easier the job gets. Things I want to tell you about. The hinges here are Lowe's, I think $9. I'm using the screws temporary, but we'll get into that. The first thing you should do when you start the project is have this mounted and have the swing gate be able to close and lock. That'll help your lining up of your tailgate. I used one and that is fine, but I think it would be a lot easier if you used both of them. And as you can see, it's actually sitting on the hinges already, but it is level. The reason I kind of started ahead of time is I wanted just to get it prepped up so I could show you some important things that a lot of people make mistakes when I see these videos. So a couple things you're going to need. Someone borrowed my punches, so I'm using a very sharp Phillips head. You're going to need a hammer, a drill, and some bits. I also have a straight edge, and I have a level. First thing I did was I had the hinges on. I used the last bolt on the TJ. I used that bolt to put in the first bolt into the hinge. So these two bolts are right into a nutsert from the factory, and I tightened those down, and then I took a straight edge. I put the straight edge on, made sure that it was level. They are even. Next thing I did was I took a level and I made sure that the hinges are level. If these two tops are level, the bottoms are level also. So that's level. And then I went up here and that is level also. So have the hinges on, take all your accessory pieces off, put the bolt into this hinge, level them off, and then torque these down so they're nice and tight. Then what I did was I did that 3 times just to make sure before I start drilling into my Jeep. Then what you're going to do, you should use a metal punch, but I didn't have a metal punch, so I'm using a very sharp Phillips screwdriver. Then the reason I'm doing this is you're not just going to drill in with self-tapping screws. Don't do that. People do it. Do not do that. It's not the right way to do it. You wind up not getting it centered. You wind up not getting it. You tear up the metal. And even though this is temporary, you still want these to be holding pretty tight because we're gonna have to test the tailgate and everything. So what you do is you take your center punch or sharp screwdriver and you go right in the center of the hole. And you give it a whack. Nice and center. Now I tend to do 2 at a time because just like I did the 2 bottom ones, that's center. And now I got 2 nice center holes. And the nice thing also, right there, that's center. The nice thing about doing that is you can sit back, look at it, and you see that they're center. Now, you're going to take your drill and you're going to do something that I notice a lot of people don't do. Now this is part 1 of this video because I'll tell you some things I'm doing to it as I'm doing it. I was going to make this all one smooth piece and buy a kit, like a piece of metal, cover it, and then put the hinges in it. And then I decided this looks more like a pickup truck. I like that. I don't like this handle. We're going to get rid of that. Maybe some of the bolt holes we're going to get rid of. And when we're done, this is just going to look like an indented pickup truck drop gate. So, and I'm not going to have to spend that much money doing that. And I'll go through that as we do the project. So I'm going to take my smallest drill bit. I'm going to make sure my drill's level. again. Let's do that one more time. I gotta go a little bit on angle because it's off. Right there. That's a little bit off, but we'll take care of that. That's why we're doing all this ahead of time. And my drill bit's getting... I have to do a freaking review about the Harbor Freight drill bits. Man, I tell you, Jesus, man. Okay, I'm gonna go one more step up. Like I said, this one is really good. That one's a little bit off, so when we do, I'm gonna drill down a little bit. Oops. When I enter that hole. Oh. Take that out. And that's pretty darn close. A little bit high, but again, not gonna matter because I'll tell you what we're gonna do in a minute. Okay, that one's fun. That one's perfect. Okay, then we take your Phillips head. Again, these are temporary. And we're gonna a little bit of metal fray right there. And that's what I was talking about when you... Okay. And that's in there. Take another screw. Okay, now that's nice and tight. Okay, I know the holes are a little bit off and they're not perfect, but the reason we're doing this is a couple reasons. We're mocking it up. It's a lot easier to fix this now than later, because when we're done with this, I'm going to stop the video, I'm going to finish up all of these. When we're done with this, we're not going to do it today, but we're going to take these off one by one, and we're going to take the bigger drill bit, the size of this hole, and we're going to drill out the hole, and it'll be a lot easier to do that. And then we're going to use nut inserts. So this is actually going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 nut inserts, 1, 2, 3, 3 nut inserts on the top. And these two are my only issue. How the Jeep TJ tailgate, when we open it up, I'll pause the video in a moment and actually we'll go over that. Let me finish these up and then I'll come back and I'll open up and tell you the issue about these two. Well, it never is easy, is it, when working on a Jeep? Okay, everything's mocked up and bolted in. I actually broke this screw putting it in, so that really means you should basically pre-drill that hole and or not buy such cheap hardware. You make the decision on that one. Now, all this is just a mock-up, and the reason I mock this up is 1, 2, and 3. These 3 top ones are going to get nut certs. 1, 2, 3, 4. The bottom ones are going to get nut certs. With the nut certs there and there, that's going to be pretty strong. These two I'll show you in a second. I cannot do nut certs, and I'll show you what I'm going to do to solve this problem. The reason I went with this hinge and not some of the, I see these tall hinges, they stop here, but the holes are a little bit higher. The reason I went with this is you're getting a much wider plate here, and that's going to be better when the tailgate's done to support this tailgate. And that gave me the ability to go inside a little bit farther instead of doing the outside. So that's why I did that. So I can put the hinges closer together, and I like how it looks a little bit better, and I got to use the factory nut cert. So let's open this up. Now, I adjusted this already. It opens up pretty easy. There's 2 star bolts right here on this locking pin, and all I did was loosen them up, take a hammer, push it up, screw them down, and if you have problems on your TJ, just file this down a little bit and it'll lock no problem. My issue is I start popping this off, I notice rust. What's new? I'm going to sand all this rust down, and what I'm going to do is probably put a steel plate back here, pre-drill it a little bit, get shorter screws a little bit, just enough to go through that steel plate, and I'm talking a thin steel plate, and screw that in. So I'm going to get the whole width of the hinge sandwiching on this bottom lip, which I think in turn is going to make this even a lot stronger. And this weather stripping will go over it, and it'll be a little bit bumped, but because it is going to be weather stripping on top, there'll be enough compression where it won't be noticed. So I'm going to get the benefit of the longer hinge. I'm going to get the benefit of not welding a plate on the outside, but I'm going to get the benefit of being pretty sturdy. I'm going to take this tailgate off next, take all this molding piece off, sand this all down, and then I'm going to put the inserts, sand the tailgate down, and that's a whole different video I'll show you. But for today, I just wanted to show you that open, close, $9 hinge. Other than the nut certs, this thing could be actually done. I mean, in reality, if you wanted to, you could actually cut the screw here, and that would still be pretty strong. I just don't think, in the long run, I think it'll loosen up. But if you do the nut certs on all the rest of them, in theory, it would be okay. But I think it looks really cool, especially when this, even with this, it looks pretty cool. But I just like the fact that these hinges are beefy, and it really starting to look like a tailgate of a truck, and that's what I like. Okay, you have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Please hit subscribe and a like button. The videos will keep on getting better. Have a great day.